Oh, hey guys. Hey. Just give me a second. I'm trying to beat my personal record. Nah, I'm kidding you guys. So this is a video that just got released. And guys, I feel like it's just been like yesterday since I did a video, and now I have to do another video because they released a whole bunch of information in Sage. A whole bunch of information, guys, so we got to go through it, right? There's no way I'm going to be able to get all of the information out to you because, you know, there's just so much. I might miss a few things. I'm going to do an overview of some of the things, but let's just have a look at what they released, right? And of course, you guys know I'll be doing another video tomorrow and another video on top of that, so there's time to go through all of it. So for now, let's go ahead and stop this video and let's go ahead and look at the release that they just went. Star Atlas presents the Golden Era Start Sequence, the path towards tomorrow. Are you ready? This is going to be a 40-minute video, give or take, guys. I'm sorry about the time. Not really sorry about the time. But yeah, it's going to be about 40 minutes. Prepare. I don't know if I'll do timestamps. We'll see as we go ahead. So, they go ahead and released this Medium article, and like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff. This is a video we just watched. Now, the table of contents for this is going to be a few extra things. There's a few things that they've touched on, right? The first thing is the start sequence for Golden Era. The second thing is the external funding initiatives, how that's going. 3 is the consultation with the community, which is us, you, me right now watching. And 4 is the game manual for Sage. There is a game manual for Sage now. I feel like I just did a Sage video yesterday. Oh my god, I couldn't have the worst timing, right? The worst timing. Okay. Oh, before that, let's have a look at this small video. This is the ERP in the UE5 module, right? This is them kind of showing us you going inside the UE5 and going inside the ERP and kind of its landing gear coming and going. It's pretty good. Pretty good. The sound. I love the sound. Whoever's responsible for the sound, he's a good sound engineer, good sound artist. Yeah. Like even the first video that I just played now, you guys could hear the sound. All right, so let's go ahead and look at each of these small items and kind of talk about it a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to be doing way more videos on this because there is a lot more to cover. So number 1, Titan ship sales are coming. They're going to be minting 3 Titan ships, the PST-1, the Busan Last Stand, and the Thimble Ecus Super Phoenix under a limited time decreasing discount program. This might be a little bit confusing for some people. It's like a reverse Dutch auction. You know how a Dutch auction, it starts at like 10, and then it goes to 9, and then 8, and then 7, until someone buys it, right? If it goes to 1, and then someone buys it, sure, they didn't buy it for 10. This is a reverse of that kind. So the actual price of these ships, Titan ships, are going to be $5 million. That's the actual price of it, right? The VWAP price. But they're doing a reverse Dutch auction. So it's actually going to start at 1 million, and then 1.5, and then 2, and then 2.5, and then 3. So if you're, it's reverse, right? So you're going to have to start on the bottom in the first week, and then the next week it goes up in price. So if at any time you're going to buy a Titan ship, you have to buy it in the first week, right? If you wait one more week, you're going to have to pay $500,000 more. So why are you going to wait? You might as well just buy it right now, right? And there's pros and cons to this, right? I'm sure the economics team have thought about this. There's pros and cons as to why they chose to go this route. Okay, so let's keep going. This will provide unique commemorative ships to buyers. Let's go ahead and activate my thing so you can see. Special ship sales. There's some more information here as well. A unique selection of ships that will be sold under a limited time decreasing discount program. Kind of same thing, which will also award unique commemorative skins to buyers. Current holders of these assets as of the time of this release will receive another ship as an airdrop. So there is an airdrop at the moment happening in Star Atlas, right? And these are for the people who already own these ships, who bought them before this got released. So if you bought any of the ships that I'm going to show you very soon, and you held it before this article came out 2 hours ago, then you will get an airdrop. Okay? Claim stake sales. All of the necessary assets, claim stakes, mining drills, power plants, and all the other ones. I don't know if they're talking about badges. for the mining operations for Sage after the mainnet launch. So they're going to be starting to sell all these. Now remember, there are some of these assets already in existence. They came from the posters, from the Rebirth poster series. If you bought some posters, you ended up having some claim stakes. So what happened with that is that people were starting to sell and buy those, and the team were like, no guys, stop selling and buying these. Like, we don't have the utility fully down for them yet. People are speculating on them too much. We wanted this to be worth this much, but you're paying way too much for it. So what ended up happening was they actually removed it from the marketplace. But of course, it's there now. You can go and see. And of course, now they're going to start selling some. And of course, you know, the utility, they've release some further items for us to talk about here. The next thing is the Central Space Station Cosmetic Land and Habitat sale. The sale of claims to a portion of residential areas plots inside the Spentral. Why do I keep saying Spentral? What's Spentral? I don't know. Inside the Central Space Station, players who acquire these lands will be entitled to a variety of benefits listed in this article. So, let's keep going. Before we go to the asset catalog and even the Sage manual, let's keep going with this. The next thing was the funding initiatives. We all know Star Atlas unfortunately lost 50% of its runway in FTX, which is crazy, right? I'm still thinking about it now. It's crazy. So what has to happen? They have to go out and find funding. Otherwise, the rest of the assets we have will be worth nothing, because if they find no funding, then they won't be able to keep building. Right? So they have to find funding. Where are they currently looking? The Solana Foundation grant. Solana Foundation is quite large. Star Atlas is probably one of the biggest games in Solana, so I thought without a doubt they have to go to the Foundation. And the Foundation itself is actually pretty positive on games. Number 2, expansion and interoperability with several other blockchains, both level 1, layer 1, and layer 2 and their ecosystems. Now, this little sentence has a lot of ramifications. I wonder if Star Atlas team is going to go to Star Atlas, going to go to Solana and say, "Hey, we want funding. If you don't give us some funding, we might move to Polygon. We might move to Immutable X. We might move to a Cosmos sidechain. We might move to Ethereum mainnet." Now, I'm not saying they're going to go ahead and do this, but like it's there, right? We are exploring other blockchain opportunities. And Solana will be like, "Oh, you're the biggest game on Solana, don't leave." I don't know if that's how it's going to go down, but you kind of get the idea, right? You kind of get it. So let's talk about the other possible blockchain places they could go. Well, the biggest one is Ethereum. Nothing's on Bitcoin first, of course, right? Nothing's up. No smart contracts, so Bitcoin's out. Ethereum, possible. Gas fees are going to kill everyone. Super expensive to develop on. So maybe not mainnet Ethereum. What else is on Ethereum? A layer 2 solution. Layer 2 solutions right now are Optimism, meh. Arbitrum, possible. So remember, Arbitrum has different kinds of Arbitrums for the different services. There is a specific Arbitrum Nova chain for Reddit, and I think there's another Arbitrum chain for games specifically. So Arbitrum, possibly, right? What else is there? There's Polygon. Actually, let's go to Polygon later. Let's do IMX. Immutable X is a layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum specifically for games, right? Specifically for games. And guess what? That's where Illuvium is. So I'm of the thought that if you're gonna go, if there's a giant section of place where a lot of gamers are, you should go there. Okay. So that's Immutable X. What else is there? There's a few of the other smaller layer 2s, but they're not ready, right? They're not ready to pop off yet. Let's go to Polygon. Polygon, I think, is a heavy competitor. Polygon is really interested in games, right? Polygon has huge partnerships with Disney, Nike, a few other people that I forget right now. But it could open a whole bunch of doors to allow these other players coming into Web3 to come and use Star Atlas as a metaverse. And that's their goal from that we covered last week, remember? So it's possible. There are some other blockchains out there. So Solana, we're multi-chain. The future isn't one single chain for one thing, right? It might be best at one thing, but to do something, to be in the Star Atlas metaverse, you could be on all the chains. You have to be chain agnostic. But at the moment, it seems like you have to work into Ethereum. So maybe let's see if the Neon EVM from Neon Labs might be the solution to this. We'll have to see. Now, coming back to this, they have high-level discussions with numerous venture capital firms, as well as crypto and gaming funds. So this is, of course, a given. Venture firms want to come in, give you some money, build a product, then they sell because they're there to make money. That's the prerogative. That's their task. That's it. As well as crypto and gaming funds. I'm not specific. I'm not knowledgeable of many gaming funds. Maybe the Yatsui from Animoca Brands. He might be a good investor, but I think he was already an investor in this. Number 3, a consultation with the community. The role of the Star Atlas DAO. Kickoff of the discussion of how the Star Atlas DAO could play a more active role in stabilizing the galactic economy. Timelines and details on all 7 of these initiatives can be found in the following pages. The 7 initiatives, guys. 7. Star Atlas Golden Age Era. Star Atlas Golden Era Game Manual. This is where a lot of the juicy stuff is. So, oh my god, it's already been 11 minutes. I got 30 minutes to get through most of this stuff. Okay. So, I won't go ahead and read all of this, okay? But let's have a look at the Titan series first, okay? Let's go to the this one. So this one is the first PDF that was given to us, which is the Star Atlas or the Start Sequence Asset Catalog. And it kind of shows you, just gives you a visual representation of the sales that are going to be happening for these ships. Now, we know they are trying to sell these ships. They're trying to sell Titans. Now is possibly the worst time for them to sell Titans because the market is dried up. No one's got liquid cash. It's coming off as a desperation move because they need funds, right? They need it. But they have to do it. That's the thing. They have to do it. Okay. Titan ship sales. And guys, this is happening in like 2 days. They're not leaving any time for people to prepare for this, right? This is like a shock to the people who didn't know, right? So in week 1, in 2 days, some of these Titan ships are going to start going on sale, okay? Week 1, they're going to go on sale for $1 million. Week 2, 1.5, 3 million, 2 million, then 2.5, then 3, and then I think it just keeps going from there. And then after that, after phase 1, we go to phase 2, which the claim stakes will be coming in, as well as the Central Space Station land and habitation habitats. So let's have a look first. Let's educate ourselves on the Titan sales. How is it actually going to work? Go ahead and zoom in so you can see. Is that good enough for you guys? Yeah, okay. Cosmic behemoths, unmatched in conquest of deep space. In total, each Star Atlas faction has access to just 3 Titan-class ships, okay? 3 additional Titan-class models, 1 per remaining faction, will be released in the future, bringing the total number of different Titan models to be 6, a maximum of 18 in total. Okay, so 6 in each, faction can have 6 each, bringing 18 in total. Now, it doesn't mean there's going to be 18 circulating. It just means that there's a possibility of 18 overall. Now, let's have a look. PST-1, Busan Last Stand, and the Thimble Super Phoenix. The regular price for them are $5 million each. After that, the start sequence in the first week is going to be 1,000 at an 80% discount. Then it goes to, from 80%, goes to 70, then goes to 60, then goes to 50. Now, here is the shocker, guys. Here is the thing that I am concerned about. These ships will be earning in-score rewards based on VWAP at 5 million. So you're going to buy this $1 million ship, you're going to go and stake it in score, and you're going to be earning Atlas based on $5 million. Right? You see the implications of that? That's huge. That's huge. They're going to have massive, massive ROI. What's worse? It's going to be very bad for Atlas. Why? Because there's no Atlas sinks at the moment. They are going to be introducing a massive supply inflation shock to Atlas token at the moment with nothing to soak it up, apart from them selling it or buying other ships, right? So this makes me very bearish on the Atlas token. At least until we get to stage where they start introducing some of these sinking methods of the Atlas token or burning mechanisms of Atlas token, right? Of course, each model receives a commemorative Titan skin representing participation in the start sequence. Skins, yeah. Okay, let's see here. This is another thing that I've been asked to cover very, very, very well. Okay, so there are some ships that unfortunately have been repegged to the VWAP price, right? And if you bought these ships at the VWAP price and they have a less than 1.5% circulating supply, it says 1% here, but actually in the article it said 1.5. 1.5. You can see here. You see it says 1.5 here, but over here it does say 1%. With a limited quantity of 1% or less of the ship inventory has been sold. Each model receives a custom commemorative skin representing participation in the start sequence. And sales, this is it. Listen, guys. Sales history for large, capital, commander class ships will be used to airdrop one bonus ship per each ship purchased. Does that make sense? So, if you bought any large, capital, commander class ships from the normal VWAP price, they have taken a snapshot and they are going to give you a ship. Okay? They're going to be selling these later on. I want to actually get up here. I want to clarify on this. I want to read their own words so I don't interpret and give you the wrong data, right? Okay. Another part of the path forward tomorrow is directed towards a select group of ships with the total supply sold under the mark of 1.5%. This fleet is branded in the lore of the galaxy as the remains of the apprehended arsenal used by the factions during the period of the Convergence War. List of available ships in this group: the PSD9, Sumpar, Maidenheart, Mamba, R8, R6, and the tank ship, right? Some ships in this group will be selected for a special acquisition program consisting of discounts and airdrops of custom skins for those who acquire the ships during the sales event. So in week 1, each of these ships will have a discount of 80% of its current base price. Okay, and you get also a custom skin of the ship drop. Skins, so you're going to be able to have the Mamba, R6, Maidenheart, Sumpar, D9 at an 80% discount in the first week. After that, you get to a 70% discount, then a 60% discount, then a 50%. So if you're going to buy any of these ships, you should buy it in week 1. If you have a 100% plan that you're going to buy these, get it in week 1. Okay? Now, after you, so these are the ship discounts, right? If you have any of these already, you will be getting a bonus. Okay? To do justice to the members of the community who have acquired these ships at the origination price, we will be airdropping one bonus ship of the same kind per ship purchased on a snapshot taken at the time of this publication. Don't worry if it's in Score, if it's in your wallet, wherever it is. The target date of the beginning of this initiative is November 21, 2 days from now. Okay? So you will be getting a ship if you already have one of these ships. You're going to get a double whammy, right? Because the thing is, you bought this at a high VWAP. So some people might be upset at this because other people have bought other ships at the same VWAP, right? And just because these ships didn't sell out, you get another one. So it's really kind of sticking the people before who spent all their money buying VWAP priced ships when they came out, right? And what about those people now? They don't get a double of their ship. It's only these people who bought these ships at the VWAP now. Only the D9, Sumpar, Heart, Mamba, R6, and tank ship. There's one guy who bought a tank ship, which is supposed to be a $100,000 ship. He's going to get another $100,000 ship. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, let's move on from this. So, let's go to the claim stake sales. Oh, it's 20 minutes already. Jesus Christ. Let's rush through this. I'm going to cover all this again later on in little tidbits, but let's go through this. So, the claim stakes, we can already buy these online, right? This is something I didn't know before. The claim stakes actually for, I thought the claim stakes were for the quantity of resources you'll be able to extract from the land, but actually for the quality of the resources on the land. So if you have a tier 1 claim stake, you can probably only get common resources. Tier 2 claim stake, uncommon, rare, epic, and then legendary. So of course, we're going to see a whole bunch of decks going for the tier 5 resources, because that's where you're going to be able to upgrade your star bases to tier 5, okay? Also on offer are the mining drills, power plants, space stations. It will be possible to acquire these along with the claim stakes. So this is going to start in week 5 to 8, past the first Titan sales. Okay, so to me, it seems like they're trying to push everything that they were holding to sell later on. They need to sell it now, because they need Sage to come out now, which means they need to push everything forward, right? The Central Space Station Land and Hab sales. Now, these are some of the pictures we saw before. This is a new ship right below my head that I hadn't seen before. Now, let's read a little bit about this, shall we? Residential estate on central space stations provide a number of features and wider utilities, such as cargo storage, landing pads, exclusive indoor and outdoor paint, pet houses, sculptures, crafting stations, and crafting rate improvements for galactic explorers. Now, there's only actually like 2 or 3 things in there that I actually value, right? I don't care about the pet houses, don't care about the sculptures, don't care about the paint. I care about the landing pad, the cargo storage, the crafting station, and the crafting rate improvement. That's what I care about. But of course, some people will care about their pets. Meh, not for me. Depending on the plot size, the purchased habitat will come with all the utility and features that would otherwise need to be purchased separately. So this one comes with everything inclusive as a bundle, right? This land purchase in this release will also provide a whitelist for future commercial plot sales. So commercial, not residential, commercial plot sales. You get a badge for coming in here. Perks: land and hab owners get cargo space increases at their central space station. Land hab owners also get crafting rate increases for R4. This is what I want. Now the first wave, they're selling, so far they're selling 10% of the land sale. They're doing 10% of the total land. 2.5% is going to come in the first wave at a discount of 15%. Second wave, 2.5 again. So they're doing 4 tranches of the sales, right? 2.5% each, up to 10%. And they're going from 15% discount to 10%. So once again, if you're going to buy land, you have to buy it in the first go, in the first wave, right? So we might see a whole bunch of people rushing. And then when we get to the 4th wave with no discount, a lot of people would have used all their dry powder already, and then you can get a rare land or something for like for the same price, right? Instead of 15% off. Now, you do get some extra bonuses. They're chucking in bonuses left, right, and center, guys. The land purchased will also receive a ship based on the size of the plot. Now, let's look here. I think these are the sizes of the plots. You can see here, there is a really small habitat here, really small habitat there. And it probably goes from extra small to extra small, then to small, then to medium, then to large, then to extra large. You can see these, right? These are like estates. Very nice estates. And they're not colored though. I wish they were colored so we can see they're not just grayscale. I think this is where they're actually up to in the development of these lands. Now, so what ships are you going to get? Tier 0 land, you'll get nothing. You don't get a ship with it at all. Now, I actually got up the Gao 2 to have a look at some of these ships, and let me see if I can actually bring this up. Someone in Aephian did give us this ship. Oh no, where is it? I can't find it. Oh, never mind, don't worry. So in Gao 2, I think we know what the Calico Scud is. We know what the we don't know what the Max Hog is not in the Gao 2 brochure, because this is supposed to be not released ships yet. Yogurka Nurich, Scud, and Calico Max Hog. Now this is what I want. The Opal Rayfam. The Rayfam is a small, what do you call it? Data runner. I don't have a data runner in my fleet yet. I need a data runner. So this right here might be my go-to at the moment. A tier 4 land small. Probably all can I afford right now, do I? I still got to make the decision if I can pass my soft cap of funds I can allocate to Star Atlas, for God's sake. Now, that ends the little, what do you call it? The assets catalog for the ship sales and the Titan sales. I hope I didn't butcher this, guys. I hope it makes sense. So basically, they're about to release a whole bunch of stuff. They need funding, so it seems like they're putting in lots of bonuses, lots of incentives for you to purchase in the first week when stuff come out. You have 3 days, 2 days and a half to make your decision if you're going to buy something. If you're going to buy something, buy it in the first week, and then maybe in the second week. But if you're going to wait, unless you have a specific plan in place, like me, to buy something way later, that's much rarer for no discount, then yeah, do that. But so far, that's what it is. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. And they have all of this information, right? I was surprised by this. I didn't know this, right? And we know some of it. Oh no, it highlighted all of it. Oh, I hate it when this happens. It highlights the entire thing. Man, I hate this. Ugh. Okay, let's go back and let's look. Let's browse. Let's browse the golden era game manual. The game manual, guys. This sounds like game manual. This is the game manual that they've just released. It's a nice 20-page document which documents a lot of stuff for us to prepare. And they said this themselves. For all you space pioneers out there, you have a small amount of time for you to get ready until the Sage DevNet comes out. And which by the way, I think they said it here. Here. WebGL Deep Strategy game Sage is nearly ready for its first version, which we anticipate for public release in early Q1. Now, don't get ahead of yourselves, guys. Don't get ahead of yourselves. They're saying the first version release early in Q1. Okay. So already, I'm gonna give you some bad news. Okay. Early in Q1 is gonna turn into mid Q1. Okay, maybe ending Q1. Okay, first version is going to be DevNet. It's going to be DevNet. It's not going to be mainnet. It's going to be DevNet. Okay, so I'm actually thinking we might get Q2 mainnet, late Q2 to Q3. I'm just giving you bad news. This is just like based off like how I've been feeling and how I have minimal expectation for this, right? And I don't want to be a sourpuss and everything, but like, why do they say first version? Why don't they just say DevNet, right? Because we know they want to go to DevNet first before we go to mainnet. And it'd actually be it'd be ill-advised to go to mainnet first without trialing all of this stuff on DevNet, at least in an open space where people can experiment with stuff, right? So we're going to have DevNet first, which I assume is their first version. But they didn't say that, did they? They said first version. It's DevNet, right? And release in early Q1. We were supposed to get this Q3, Q4, and now Q1. It is what it is. It is what it is. Give them time. Let them build it. Give them time. Okay, let's go back to the game manual, shall we? Sorry, I'm all over the place. This is a long video. I told you, we're already at 30 minutes. I got 10 minutes to get through this. 10 minutes to get through this. Okay. Sage the economics, R4, Atlas, Marketplace, deprecating score, mining, managing resources, upgrading and crafting, combat, leveling, and earning Atlas. Now, you guys can go ahead and read all of this, okay? I won't waste a lot of time. I'm going to read it myself, but I'm not going to just sit here and read it in front of you. That's a bit useless. Let's have a small comparison between Score and Sage, okay? So, in Score, we know that we can do some things already. In Sage, we'll be able to do some extra things on top. So in Score and Sage, you'll be able to earn Atlas. Right now, the earning for Score is you basically stake your ships and you get an emitted linear release of Atlas. In Sage, it doesn't really work like this. It's actually based on your activity. So we do not anticipate a large disparity in average Atlas emissions per player. But it depends on your activity. If you log in for 5 minutes a day, you are not going to be earning a lot of Atlas. Atlas locking, there should be no changes. Atlas locking, there should be no changes. R4 burn will be variable on the action in Sage as opposed to Score where they're constant. Same thing. If you only log in Sage for 5 minutes, you're only going to use like a tiny bit of resources. But if you log in for the entire 24 hours, you're going to be using a lot of resources, right? Free flight. Yes and Sage. Mining, yes and Sage. Crafting, yes Sage. Combat, ship integration, 3D modules, Starbase, and open resource marketplace. I love this. Players may now produce and trade assets they have found in the game world. Awesome. So there's a few little differences here and there, right? Let's go ahead and see the kind of score net Atlas yield with Sage. You can see that with and without Sage, there shouldn't be much difference. There's a small disparity, like a larger disparity between the small class of ships, whereas the larger ships, you can't really see the major differences, right? Maybe in Commander class, Capital class, but I think the big difference is between these two. Okay, let's keep going. Marketplace and DAO. There's deprecating score. They talked about this a lot as well. They're kind of outlining what their plans are going to be. The production and supply of R4 in the economy will depend on entirely on the player population. Me and you, we have to go and find resources and sell it on the market or make our own fuel. As such, the DAO will cease to sell R4 at a fixed price with infinite supply on the Galactic Marketplace. The DAO will cease to sell the R4. As players begin earning the majority of Atlas emissions of Sage, they will have very little incentive or reason to hold ships in score. In addition, players will begin earning a productivity wage based on their behavior. Let's keep going. Mining. This is where it starts getting a little bit heavy, guys. This is where the economy, this is where the game gets going, okay? This is a super important graph that PG Metaverse wants everyone to know about, okay? This is about the hardness of a resource and about the ship emissions for them, okay? So, to break it down very simply, you have all these different ship sizes, extra small, small, medium, large, capital, and commander. You can see the emissions based on the hardness of a resource to the ship size. So let's take a large ship, shall we? You look at a large ship and compare it to a capital class ship. You can see all the different shades of it. So you can see the emissions for a resource that's got a hardness of 1 is a lot more than a hardness of 2. And then is a lot more than a hardness of 3. And then as you go down, it gets a little bit lighter. It gets a little bit harder and harder to get an emission of that resource. The next big thing you should consider is the giant difference in the actual amount you get based on the size of your ship. So you can see a capital class gets like more than twice the emissions of a large ship. A large ship gets nearly twice the emissions of a medium ship. So they're trying to say here that no matter how good your medium class ship is, you will always get way, way, way more with a large ship or a larger ship. Okay? So people who want to buy $300 worth of PSX4s or 300 Thimble air bikes, no. You're much, much better off going to a large or medium ship and actually getting way more emissions. I hope that makes sense. I hope I make that come across. Okay, there's 3 things that we should really start considering here. They talked about resource richness, resource hardness, ship size, of course, and of course the resource usefulness. So basically, they're trying to say that you remember how they said they had like 30 different levers to try and make the game run a bit better and play better and the economics better? This is some of those levers, okay? So resource richness actually talks to you about where and how abundant all of these resources are. So you could have a resource that's everywhere. It's a common resource. Everyone needs it for food, right? So it's everywhere, okay? That's what they mean by richness. The resource hardness basically means is how easy it is for you to get that resource once you've found it, okay? So it could be everywhere, and then it could also be very easy to extract and very easy to bring on board to your ship. After hardness, you have the usefulness. Usefulness is how much utility does it have. They gave an example of 2 different resources where resource A is used for to do this item. But to do another item, to do another task, you need resource A and resource B. So if you look at resource A and look at resource B, which one is worth more? Resource A, yeah, because it has two different uses. So they're saying this is a way for them to try and use levers in the economy to try and say, oh, okay, we're going to need way more resource. Like this resource has way more than we want in the economy. We're now going to require this resource to do something else over there, which sucks that resource away, okay? Which increases the scarcity, which means that more people have to use it. So now it doesn't have such a high supply, okay? Now, and then, of course, they talked about the ship size, which I think I've already made sense. So listen to this. For example, a Thimble airbike might yield 6 units of iron every second, while a Rainbow Arc pulls in 200, okay? So you have to do the math here. Like, you can, for the cost of a Rainbow Arc, you can try and get so many Thimble airbikes, but you're not going to be able to manage all those airbikes to go out and get the same resource that an Arc would be able to get in 1 second, okay? You got to have the space for all of these. You got to have the fleet capacity, or like the what do you call it, the hangar capacity to actually house all of those 300 Thimble airbikes, okay? Let's keep going. So that's the resource usefulness. That's the 3 things. Guys, they've written a whole bunch here. The next thing I wanted to touch on is the fuel cost for the different actions you're going to be doing across Sage. Okay, the red line is combat. The red line is combat. I'm not much of a combat person, but I'm happy to see that it actually uses the most fuel out of everything. Okay, first is first is combat, and then of course warping. So warping 1 Atlas unit, which I just kind of someone in Aephian let me know, it might be like 1 parsec or 1 kilometer or 1 mile. 1 unit of distance in Star Atlas is a Atlas unit. I don't think we've been introduced to this before. But of course, to get from 1 Atlas unit from A to B, you have to use some fuel. So look at the different sizes of the ships and look at the fuel consumption that they have. Okay, so you can see a large versus a medium in combat uses around 3 times as much fuel, maybe twice as much fuel. And then you look at the commander class ships, look at the fuel they're going to be guzzling up. Holy crap, they're going to need heavy maintenance, right? You have to use them properly. And you have to make significant decisions to see, are we going to take them out? Where are we going to go? How much is it actually going to cost us to move this ship? Because the fuel is tremendous, okay? So that's the fuel cost, that's the warping. So like, warp from one gate to another. And then impulse, I think, is just like to go really fast. I'm not sure. And then you have to exit the planet atmosphere, which uses a bit of fuel. And then a baseline fuel emission, probably just when you're just exploring, just doing nothing, when you're just going in a straight line, and not when it's idle. They give us a small little graphic here as well. So you can see the resources burnt using warp movement is high, impulse is medium, you exit it is low. The combat encounter uses not just fuel, but fuel, food, combat, and ammo, and they have a high cost. So all those fighting ships, which comprises like 60% of the entire fleets around in Star Atlas, they're going to have very high resources to use and utilize. Thankfully, I don't have many fighters in my fleet, so I'm more like the transport slash medtech slash rescue slash salvage slash side hustles, right? Crafting should not use a lot of resources. Upgrading, no resources. Idling shouldn't use any resources. Now, they talked a lot about upgrading and crafting, combat, XP, how you're going to level. It's the same kind of idea. You have to do these tasks for the faction, and your contribution to the faction gives you LP points, and LP points gives you Atlas emissions, which is how you earn your Atlas. There we go. This is the function for it, and a conclusion. 39 minutes, guys. I made it. So, should our players, whether they are vagabonds or massive corporations, should read through this manual in order to best prepare for the full launch of Sage. In addition to reading this document, participate in Sage V0 DevNet launches and other testing phases to better understand the Sage economy and help our team. So guys, I'm going to bring on a few people so that we can chat about this game manual, because it's that time where this is starting to go ahead. Let me know, are you going to be buying any ships? Are you going to get an airdrop for a ship? I'm not going to get an airdrop, unfortunately. I'm considering if I'm going to be buying a ship or a land habitat. Which one are you buying? Let me know, please. I want to know because I want to know. So that I don't model my buying off your information. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you want to come onto the show, let's discuss Star Atlas. Let's talk about the game economy. I'm sure Metaverse Nomads are going to do a great video on this, dissecting all of this. I'm sure Aephian, there's a brew happening tomorrow in the Star Atlas Discord, and people are going to be talking nonstop about this, all the different things. I think bottom line is the team is trying. They're trying to raise the money they need to get this working. And remember, we have to help them. We are the community, right? That's exactly what people are saying. And a lot of people reached out to me, guys. We are the community. So we got to help them succeed. Otherwise, all of our assets that we've bought so far are worthless. It's that simple. That's it. Without further ado, that's it, guys. I'm going to leave you. See you very soon. Ciao.